Hello and welcome to the Listening Post's unboxing channel on YouTube. Today I'm unboxing an entry-level turntable from JIS, the CS329. Now JIS have been doing turntables for decades. Their higher end products are still awarded wonderful reviews and awards globally all the time. This is their entry-level product. This is designed to satisfy a need at the automatic end of the market without breaking people's bank. It features a relatively entry-level cartridge but easy to acquire replacement stylus. It's relatively modest in its build, it's relatively modest in its performance, but it's brilliant for the price. So let's have a look. Firstly, the box. Pretty basic. It's brown. It's got some basic information on the top that I'll always allude to during our unboxing videos, and that's attention, do not cut too deep with your craft knife when you go to open it. It's got model and serial number information in scannable codes across the corners, so however you might stack it or whatever it might be, you can gain access to what it is and grab what you require pretty easily. Unusually, and this is really important for an entry-level budget product, the whole range comes with a 5-year manufacturing-backed warranty. Now look, if you snap the stylus, that's on you, okay? Fine. But everything else associated with the manufacture and build is covered by its warranty. And that's brilliant to see for such a cheap product. They're prepared to back their products with everything that they've learned over the decades of experience building turntables. Right, so let's have a look. Now these are sealed closed with basic packing tape, so opening it is really straightforward. A couple of nicks and a little tear and away you go. The turntable itself is rudimentary in its packaging with a simple enough cardboard sleeve on the top that drills immediately into the quick setup and operational guide that we see in a Ziploc bag. The lid is separate in freight and protected by a poly paper bag. The bag itself is designed to protect it and keep it scratch free in transit. You'll see that they've opted for a tint to protect from a UV perspective anything in the turntable's workings, and front and centre we've got the JIS logo. It's pre-tap ready for their brackets, which you'll see in a moment's time. The next step is simply enough to lift the turntable out. Now, I'll get rid of the polystyrene. 1, 2 pieces of moulded polystyrene. It's worth mentioning that the power cord, interconnecting cables are attached, and so you do want to feed that through the polystyrene. You can see that it's ready for that. And away we go. Now, the rest of the accessories are centrally located and held in place by the polystyrene itself, so it doesn't move around. The first of all, lift out the platter. It's protected. Pause. I'll put that off to one side. I'm going to show you this. Centrally located are the accessories. Now these are a sort of a mirror image, one being empty and the other one clearly labelled with some accessories to look out for. In that box, very straightforward to open. It's just sellotaped away in, so nick that, prise it open, and before discarding the packaging you'll see their external wall wart power transformer. It is, I can't even read that from here, 12 volt, just 0.4 of an amp. I mean, very straightforward as far as its low current requirements. And the 2 brackets, hinges and brackets associated with the turntable lid. We've also got a 45 adapter and a New Zealand power adapter for the power supply. Now, I'll be honest, you're probably never going to use one of these 45 adapters, so off it goes. Okay, that's it. Now the turntable itself again is protected by a polycloth bag. You can see for a moment that it's very rudimentary in it's a solid plastic and metal design. It's got a lovely weight to it despite the fact it's relatively light in the grand scheme of things. The interconnecting cables are protected with a plastic bag and they're fixed in place along with a ground lead. Very straightforward as far as left and right. The platter can easily be added, and you can see that there's a couple of pieces with it. The first being the platter itself. Very, very straightforward, again protected by a polycell bag. Now, of note, and the number of people that don't necessarily catch on to this, and why Joule have added this red tag, is the belt itself. So again, hang around for the photographs, but you'll see a central milled pulley wheel on the platter. The platter's aluminium, and the belt itself is ready for you to attach to the motor that we see here. There's the internals associated with the automatics before I cover it up, and it's simple enough to slide that onto the central pulley and then very, very carefully remove the tape that is holding the belt in place, giving you the ability to very, very easily access the belt and lift it into place over the motor. So again, red tags to remind you what you need to do next, and then grab both, pull it over until the window lines up with the motor, and then use the tag to lift it effortlessly over the motor itself. Then just rotate it slightly off so that the tag can easily be removed. Nice and simple. Okay, next part, again just as simple. The bag itself that is protecting the mat can easily be removed. Try and find the open end. Okay, the cardboard protecting it goes away. Fold the bag open, and we've got the platter, the mat. Now it's worth mentioning this obviously has two sides. One has a part number embossed in it, and the second has a little indent to ensure that the record label can sit in it and not affect the level of the record when playing it back. Now looking at it briefly, you will see that the arm is protected in transit with a little foam square, and it's held in place with a classic twist tie. The twist tie threads through a little bracket that you will see, and then there is a little piece of foam paper to ensure that it's scratch free in transit. Lifting it forward, we see it sort of fully assembled perhaps, absent only of the lid. The arm itself has the ability to track easily and effortlessly across the record. You've got your classic raise and lower mechanism off to one side. There is no ability to adjust anti-skate in this model, and there's no ability to adjust the tracking force either. The greater quality models allow for all of that, as you would expect. Because it comes pre-fitted and balanced with the AT91 cartridge and related ATN91 stylus, it's very straightforward as far as almost a plug-and-play operation. Removing the protective cover is very easy, and again, the important thing that Joule have done at this absolute entry level is ensured that the cartridge and stylus are very, very easy to purchase replacement ones should you require it. You can choose to upgrade, but we stay within the tolerances of the ATN91 if you can. Again, lifting it forward, we see the Joule CS329 model and logo, again an implication of fully automatic. And it's important to understand that as part of its operation, you're adjusting the size associated with 15 and 30 centimetre records. With that in place, as soon as you lift this, the record starts turning, and it's very, very straightforward as far as dropping it into place for its operation, and then once it reaches the middle it'll stop, lift and return. We also see that control doubled up with a start and stop at the front and the ability to adjust the speed between 33 and 45 with a push button. It's nice to see that those are on the front. They're often hidden underneath the lid, meaning that you have to lift the lid to operate it fully. This can be operated nicely with the lid closed if required, changing speed, start and stop as a push button. Now, despite its entry level, it still has all of the engineering you would expect. Isolated feet to try and ensure that it's not going to have any transient vibrations from the surface to the deck, and so on. So there we have it. Jules entry-level turntable, the CS329, unboxed here at the Listening Post in Christchurch, New Zealand. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to our channel.